Hello everyone, back to the country. Bernie here. A beautiful spring day in the property I'm developing to be a off-grid campsite. So today I'm going to plant some trees, be a little dividing line between my property and the neighbor. Have this open field here. So when you come into the property, there's the front entrance, and there's the neighbor, there's my property. Basically going behind is a little strip, and then behind, so we're planting some Norweigen spruce trees. We got one in the ground. And make a little row going down to the road, about halfway down, since the opening down there is kind of narrow. So he's got a little peat moss, digging a shallow hole, and get them in the roots nice in a nice peat moss soil mix. Off to a good healthy start, and yeah, we'll see how they grow. Yeah, I'm just kind of planting them in stages as I work the roots into the ground. Soak the bottom of the hole nice, and then we'll just kind of build and give them some more water and get them off to a good start. Alright, we got our trees planted. Now we're just going to do a little mulch to get them through the dry season in the summer. Just put a little mulch down in the first year. It rains a lot up here, so I'm not too worried about them making it through the summer, but a little mulch doesn't hurt. So here we go. Alright, all done. So hopefully we'll get a nice stand of Norweigen spruce trees. Nice natural barrier to block the neighbors' camp. Might be able to spot it all there in the background. Actually, they're Amish, so it's kind of interesting. Anyway, they're nice, quiet neighbors, so I love that. But yeah, now time to do some exploring of the property. I actually haven't gotten all the way to the back corner, so I'm going to try to bushwhack by back there. So that'll be the next adventure of the weekend. So yeah, this is the front driveway. I gotta get rid of that building back there, metal building. The previous owner just had to have it, but having a hard time finding a salvage guy to take it away. I had to pay somebody to get rid of it, but that'll be gone. This kind of hedgerow here, I'm gonna possibly remove it if I build a house here, because I want the house to be situated such that this view out the back, you could have a nice deck out the back overseeing this kind of nice little meadow. Clear out all this brush down here. Planted some fruit trees on there, apples, pears, and cherries. I'm gonna put in some plums, peaches, I think. Then I got a couple more spruces I'm gonna plant down there. Clear out all that brush so to see the pine trees. Those back there are called poplar. In front of the spruces I'm going to plant some birch, white birch, look nice. And that side I'm going to have a nice weeping willow. And then the property kind of goes back this way. You have a little bit of, I think it's silver maple stand, and a lot of cedar, and then some hardwood. And I'm going to go see if I can find the back corner of my property. I've actually never been there. Entering the silver maple forest here. This is where I actually do my camping. I camp here. Check out my bushcraft video. So got a little flat spot back here, and this is where I'm going to build a very small 10 by 16 cabin. Situated right here. So we'll have a nice views through the woods into the side meadow. And then this weekend I'm going to start seeing the spot for the outhouse. That's the first thing you need when you're living off grid or camping off grid. Not that I'm going to live off grid, but we seem to have a nice little high mountain here. Hopefully there's a pile of rocks under here, but this will be the site of the outhouse. I do have a bit of a marchy stretch going through the property and get to the other side. Decided to build this little penthouse here, so I don't think I'll have any time or energy to work on this at all this weekend, but maybe I'll do a little this evening. But it's kind of nice, this marsh here. Might dig out a small pond on the shore. The marsh itself is pretty nice, but surely I think I'll get another cedar log here, or at least have the infrastructure in place so we can walk across. And right now I got my trusty packs on, but it'd be nice to be able to get across with hiking sneakers without getting sopping wet. On the other side of the swamp, I have pretty much a little lowland here in shore cedar forest. It does get a little slight bit of elevation and dry out to support a mixed forest. Follow this little deer trail here. You know where they're going. This is a nice little kind of hardwood clearing. Take a nice old sitting spot or another camping spot. We're going to follow up this way, get to the property line, and then cut across the other side. There's another swamp area right there. As we walk a little further in the backside, the forest turns into a nice evergreen forest, thinking like hemlock. Nice great trees back here. That's the hardwood clearing we came from. Or not clearing, but the hardwood small patch of forest. That's all kind of swampy. That's why I chose to build a little boardwalk across the marsh. Guess the deer was here. So this is the end of the property. The neighbor slopes up. Just keep out sign. So this is where I'm going to have to try to break through the second swampy part to see if I can get to any higher ground on the other side. But yeah, this would be another nice spot for a sitting spot or camp. Getting fairly deep in the swamp here. It doesn't really look like I have any higher ground beyond, but we'll go to the corner and see if there is. But basically in the Onyx GPS app I'm using, I'm just about there, and this is pretty much unusable swampland in here unless you like hanging out in the swamp. Oh, made it to the back. Still pretty swampy. Thick cedar forest, swampy. Little, you know, not quite as wet, but It's a fairly long bushwhack through some pretty unforgiving terrain. Could probably cut out a swath and lay down some logs, but what's the point? But anyway, back here is an iron pipe that marks the northwest corner. I'm going to try to see if I can find that, but with the help of my Onyx GPS. But my hopes aren't too high, but I'm going to give it a shot. Getting fairly deep in the swamp here. It doesn't really look like I have any higher ground beyond, but we'll go to the corner and see if there is. But basically in the Onyx GPS app I'm using, I'm just about there, and this is pretty much unusable swampland in here unless you like hanging out in the swamp. Oh, couldn't find the iron pipe, but I found the corner. So we got a little triangle of dry forest back here, but you gotta go through quite a bit of swamp to get to it. So this is generally my neighbors. I think I'm just gonna go straight through the western part of the marsh. Maybe that's easier. Made it back across. Actually, the western part, it looked like it'd be marshier, but it's actually a little easier to get across. The reason this is so marshy, there was a beaver dam a little further down, and kind of, I think it was a little better drained before the beaver came in. Here's a sign of a pretty industrious beaver felling a pretty large tree. I guess this is bark of a certain tree they liked for food source. Well, I don't know, but it's kind of mysterious that a beaver would cut down such a large tree. At the very western edge, I think this would be the place to make a boardwalk. Plenty of deadwood here. Is cut off, clear a little causeway, and get to that other spot for a little walking experience. It's interesting. Well, this is deadwood here. Compliments of the beaver. And then back this way to some cedar and then higher ground. So we'll continue south. Yeah, along this edge of the swamp there's an old logging road, it looks like. And then takes us up back to some higher ground. And there's an owl house my neighbor put up. Might be on close to my side, but it's right on the border. Cool. Like to see an owl move in. Yeah, this is it. So straight southerly route back to the way we came. Hope you enjoyed exploring the property with. Alright, next on the agenda, I'm going to spend a little while on that boardwalk crossing on the marsh. Just going to cut up a few boards and then cut down a tree and just work on that for an hour or so. I think back to planting those 3 trees I got to finish up, and then maybe have dinner and maybe a little bit of outhouse digging, get the foundation area ready. So yeah, let's keep going. Day's still young. A little more progress on my boardwalk. Got the extra log on this side, and then put down a few boards. Got nice out this afternoon. It's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow. Yep, end of the day. Little fire going here in my camping spot. A little breezy out. I thought I'd come in the woods rather than my fireplace out in the meadow. And get a nice little fire going. I'm happy hour, but I spilled my good beer, so I'm bummed. And I got a little something cooking here. Get some chicken and a couple spare ribs. Oops, thumbs in the way. So that's looking mighty fine. Good capper to the day for sure. Alright, batteries running out, so signing off. Take care.